Scrolling through the sales tonight. Rarity glowing in the neon lights. Price check, play check, cards on the floor. We're hanging out and talking BoBA. Big hits, hot takes, let it roll. Battle arena, heart and soul.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Sorry, Eric, go ahead.
No, you can go.
No, go, Eric. Sorry.
This is BoBA Raw. We are here on Tuesday, August 18th. This is Eric with the Card Society. I've got Slappy White as well as Anthony from Cursive Breaks joining us today.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, guys.
What do we got going on today? BoBA Raw is exciting. I heard there's some big cards that sold yesterday.
Yeah, and Eric, first up, just a note is the Merino Secret 101. That was not, in fact, the pink hex that sold. That was actually a hex auto, as you can see in the image. So that's been reported. The image recognition picked it up, but that will drop off the 101 sales. I was going to say, Eric, we had 2 101 sales yesterday. That was going to be crazy if we had 2 yesterday and 2 today, but we did have 1 at least, right?
We did, yeah. The hands highlighted hex helmets sold for $800.
I think I pulled that card on a break. So interesting to see that it went on eBay and sold for $800.
Yeah, what were you expecting, Anthony?
At least 4 digits. So I thought the Jerry Rice would bring a premium in there. And it's,
I love the
185.
I love the wiggle room you always give yourself, Anthony. You always talk about 4 figures. 4 figures can be anywhere from 1,000 to 9,999. And you sound so precise when you say that, and it's such an imprecise number.
Yeah, I once said a four-digit card in one auction. It ended at $1,000 and like 5,005, and I was like, "Yep, see, four digits."
Yep, you can call that. All right, Eric, you set aside the 10 you want to focus on today. First up, you've got 7 ring. Everybody loves the 7 ring.
Yeah, 3,000 for a 200 power 7 ring gum. Great looking card. This has already sold 3 times now. Hard to believe. It's got 3 sales and it keeps going up and significantly going up. This first sold around $2,000, went up for $500, and now we're at 3,000. Do you guys, you think 3,000 is the right price? You think this originally sold too low, or was this an overpay?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I think with the 7 rings here, that's kind of your range, right? 2 on the low. I could see this go as up, to 3,500. But as far as being too low, again, there's only so many of these made. So I don't know how many more we're going to see for sale. So as soon as they come up, those early ones probably are not getting sold. If you're a player, those 200's hard to get, and there's quite a few people that need to still fill those 200 spots.
I think if you're Tom Brady and you happen to come across this collection, you're buying that for 3,000 without blinking. I think if you're a Tom Brady collector and you see this card and just him presented that way, I think you're buying it at $3,000. All right, moving on, Eric, to dartboard, which is we go from a GOAT to, I mean, he's not a rookie, but rookie-esque.
Yeah, he's played a total of 5 NFL games, so he might as well still count as a rookie. But dartboard gets a lot of love from the BoBA team. He's got the highest power for a base hero. He's also a pretty big chase for a base hero. He's got the 8-bit alt art as well as a rage quit in the Tecmo set. And as you can see, this one originally sold around $875, which seems about where some of the rage quits have been going, some a little less even. And now we're seeing this over $1,000. How do you guys feel about that $1,000 price on a dartboard rage quit?
Yeah, that's where I predicted these early on, is that, the 8-bit's super cool. Love the full art, but these being a lot shorter print, was expecting to see these prices flop at some point. So these are selling for $600-700 early on. Now they're breaking that 4-digit mark, where I think the 8-bits are kind of going the other direction and going slightly under that 4-digit mark. Great to see a rage quit go in the 1,000.
Yeah, and I love, it's amazing with collecting with sports. You always see, right, the valleys and the peaks based on when the season's starting, and of course, getting ready for the NFL season. So of course, you're seeing these values rise. Like we all know it. You sell your cards when it's preseason, when it's spring training, and you buy them after the season when everybody's dumping. All right, Eric, you had this Merino, not a secret one of one, a hex inspired ink, which is one of 10. You had this on here for $939. And just so everyone knows, on eBay, it was reported properly. It was not reported as the secret one of one. So someone bought this knowing it was one of 10.
Yeah, this is a awesome card. Love Marino's art with the Hex Dolphins, and it's an auto. It's a 195, getting in this for 939. Really 195s I've been seeing go $1,200, $1,500 on average, sometimes a little higher depending on who it is. The only 195s I'm seeing, get a little bit faded are Attack and maybe some of the Pukas, but I think this is a fantastic buy at 939 for a 195 power, but it's also a Hex auto of Dan Marino. So throw that in there to the value. What do you guys think about this one?
I think it was a great buy. I don't know if, like I said, if that's 195 trending in that direction, or this was a steal. Either way, I would have bought this card at that price. So good job by the buyer there.
In the Block Pack sold Raz games, the Cabal members and I ended up winning a Merino card for $6,000, or what it was valued at $6,000. I would take this card every day over that card. Just so much more beautiful, the artwork, and of course you're getting the auto. Speaking of autos, you have another autograph, Eric, on your list, this Cat Gum auto.
Yeah, I love this card. Karl Anthony Towns, he's been super hot in the BoBA community. We talked about Burner yesterday. We saw his steel auto going for $300. Now you got a bubblegum Cat auto going for $900. He, of course, is in the alpha set. Alpha cards have been hot right now, but this last sold for $400, and now we've seen it climb to $900. Print run on these gum autos from Alpha, very, very low. So you rarely see these pop up, and somebody saw it and had to have it. I feel like that's a really good, healthy sale at $900. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would agree. This set is not expired yet. It will be expiring here towards the end of the year. I just see these cards, once they expire out of current play, knowing that there's still going to be tournaments every year at Nationals, that they're just going to keep increasing. So great buy here, and love the Cat Art recent world champion, right?
Yeah, I've been picking up Alpha Edition higher power card, Apex cards, but that one was a little bit out of the price range that I was trying to pick up. All right, next up you had another Merino, Eric.
Yeah, this I think is an absolute steal. If you can get a Rage Quit for under 500, by all means get it. You saw this originally sold around 450 or 435. Now we're at 500. I could see this selling again at a higher price if somebody threw one up there. Like Anthony said, Rage Quits aren't getting as much hype as 8-bits, but they are much more rare. These are very SSP. You maybe see 1 in 5 cases or so. And for Merino, one of the most chaseable heroes on here, I think this is a fantastic purchase by whoever got it.
Okay, next up we've got Phoenix. You're actually reaching into the rookie power-ups.
Yeah, rookie power-up from last year. This is Bo Nix inspired as Phoenix. He's got incredible art on all of his cards, but his RPU hits really hard. And this one took a nice jump from where it was last year to now. I think it's probably, if you're looking to sell RPUs, now's probably a good time with the recent release coming out. People are starting to go back and try and find last year's RPUs, and some of them are very hard to find. You don't see really any listed from last year. If you do, they typically get gobbled up quickly. But how do you guys feel about 255 for this Phoenix?
I want to ask Anthony. Anthony, have you ever seen a graph like that? It looks like the top of Batman's head. I've never seen a graph in the BoBA Raw like this.
No, but no, I think it's a good price. It is a 160, so it's on the smaller power end of the RPUs. I think that year, 150 might have been the low on that. So No, Bonex is super collectible, so it's seeing a 160 card to go for 255. That's a solid deal, I think, on both ends. I don't think it was too low. Probably could see it go a little higher, but not bad overall. Looks like
All
it's
right,
staying
moving on.
consistent by the graph, right?
Oops, sorry, Anthony. Moving on, number 6, you've got an Alpha Edition steel battle foil. So what's going on here, Eric?
Yeah, I don't know. This is an odd sale. Don't see these cards selling for $100 really. I mean, this, as you can see, the average is around 25. So I don't know if this was an error listing. I don't know if this was just an overpay or what exactly is happening, but crazy price on this. I would love to see all the alpha battle foils sell like this. Draco's very popular, very highly collectible, but for $90 seems like a reach.
Okay, and while you were talking, I was able to go in it. This gem minted at, this was a gem mint 10. That's why.
Ah, that makes sense then.
Yep. So it's that's where it's coming. Is that where you would expect it to come in at $90?
I actually think you could probably get a little bit more. I don't know what the pop count is on that, but I would say for a PSA 10 alpha battle foil of Draco, I would probably want this around 150.
Okay,
I would
and that's
expect
been
a little bit higher.
That's actually been submitted, so we'll get that corrected. All right, moving on to number 8. Also going back to Alpha Edition CC.
Yeah, so I don't know if this one was graded as well. If it was, that was an absolute steal. But if this is the raw price for a fire battle foil, CC's on the rise again. I mean, you can see at this graph, it's a little bit of up and down, but over the course of the last 2 years, this has mostly gone up. And she's having an amazing season, MVP candidate this year. The Fever are in first place. So I think CC's going to start to get even more hype. And newer people into BoBA are going to start hunting those older CC cards.
But Eric, what does Sophie Cunningham do for CC, the old CC cards? Do you think it'll have she's already got so much hype. Can she possibly have a material effect benefiting Caitlin Clark's early BoBA cards? Or do you think it's already baked in and Sophie can't boost her any more than she's already been boosted by the people who know the WN? And of course, she transcends the WNBA. She's everybody knows who Caitlin Clark is.
Yeah, I do. I think that more people can become aware, not that CC needs any more hype or Caitlin Clark needs any more hype, but I feel like with Cunningham in the update set as well as AZ FUD, I think we'll get a lot more of the WOBA, the WNBA collectors and fan base interested in Battle Arena. You know, somebody sees or pulls the Sophie card and they say, oh, well, who else from the WNBA might be in these sets? And then they go back and find CC's alpha stuff and start to buy it up. And I think we could see another rise. And that's sort of the historic trend with her cards and why they just keep climbing is newer collectors getting into this and realizing she does have cards in Battle Arena.
And Eric, or I mean, Anthony, let's see if you can figure out why did Eric want to put Afterburn in the glow inspired ink auto on the list for today?
For $100 for a glow, that's a great price. It looks like a steal to me. I think I had a similar sale on one of my single shows. So Afterburn, you know, he's big here in Ohio, globally or just say nationwide. I don't know if he's as big. So 170 glow auto for 104 seems like a good price. I won't say it's a steal as we might have thought it was even say a month ago, but good price here.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing many glow autos go for $100. So that was why I threw it in here as one of the steals of the day.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, Dr. J, Eric.
Yeah, other steal of the day right here. Dr. J, very, very hard pull out of the Griffey set. He was a big chase and a 185 Fire Coliseum, getting that for $60. Congratulations. I wish I would have seen this one as well. That was a great buy. Whoever snagged
And we have
that.
And we have to remind folks, you don't have to play the game, but you have to understand how it affects your value. The Griffey set is going to be playable for 2 years. So when you see large numbers, 170 and above, those are, and technically I know Apex cards are more, but once you get above 170, you get 185. That's a really strong card. That's going to be strong now for another year and a half. So you still have a lot of playing time left with this Dr. J cards. That makes it even more of a steal. All right. And then the final one, even though somebody told me only went to 10, but maybe Anthony snuck this one in on you. The hands glow.
Yeah, I think Anthony snuck this one in. But this was another massive steal right here. A 180 highlighted hands glow going for $30. That's crazy. This is probably closer to $100 card, if not more.
Yeah, I would agree with this. The glow icons should be pretty low printed. Maybe it's a 50 at the most. But again, this is a highlighted Jerry Rice. So we talked about it earlier. Would expect this to be a little more. I think I seen someone in the Discord today ask, "Hey, I'm looking for high end hands. Hope this guy got this one because this is something he'd probably be looking for."
Yeah, I hope somebody got it. All right, let's go to top graded because we got to move along here. We won't look at the top 10 sales today. You can always head to radishpriceguide.com/boba-raw. You can take a look at what the top 10 sales were. We're going to head down to the top graded cards. Of course, we're not included the $90. It wasn't shrouded. Who was the one we just fixed again that came in?
Marino?
No, that was the one that was graded and it was unusual.
Draco.
It was
Draco.
Draco, that's right, Draco. Okay, so the Draco obviously would be on the top, but Eric, real quick, once you pick out one, we've got the Pantera for $40. These are insane. A Bojax PSA 10 for $26. That promo card, the wattage, like which one
that
do you want?
That Pantera linoleum hex sold for $40. That is insane. Yeah. I mean, it should go more on a raw sale. Should go for double that at least on a raw sale.
Yeah, and it looks like when I bring up the listing, it was $55 or best offer. So they didn't even stick to their $55.
Yeah, it looks like it was an 8.5. I would have cracked that out and just sold the card raw.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's go to the steals. Of course, you mentioned a couple steals. Anthony, for the featured highlighted super short print, we've got the GAR going for $28, the Rad Fire. We've got the Pepper Spray short print going for $6. Which one was the better steal?
I think it's the GAR. On the Pepper Spray, it only being like a 120. That may be a $20 card. So, talking about a $15 difference. But that GAR 155, we've seen that be around double that $50, $60 card pretty easily. So, again, if you look at percentages, maybe it's Pepper Spray, but overall dollar amount, I think it's the GAR.
Okay, and then Eric, for the inspired heroes, you got Bayou Glow. Man, we see so many green on the steals of the day. Inspired Glow Sore Thumb for $20. You've got the Shepherd Glow Green Battle Foil for $14. What's the better steal?
That's a great question because Shepherd has been faded a little bit by the community. He isn't as chaseable. Bayou's been very popular. He's #1 receiver in the league right now, Jamar Chase. I would probably go Bayou as the bigger steal just because the higher power level, it's still an SSP. He's got amazing artwork, and Jamar Chase, highly collectible hero as well. So I think, for $20, this was a really, really good buy.
Okay, and then for top movers, of course, the percentage increase from the last sale. So you've got the Draco, which we're going to take that one out. It'll slowly move away. The CC we talked about. So why don't you take a look at McArmy Knife, Jackhammer, and Youngblood? Which of these three did you want to talk about and be like, yeah, it's getting to where it should be. It's moving back up to where it should be.
I would say the Jackhammer. At 45 for a green glow. I mean, these green glow case hits, we talk about it all the time. Why are they so faded? They are absolutely amazing looking cards. They are not easy to get. You're talking one per case on these, and they should be treated as such. And you feel like a lot of times they're selling in the $20 range when they should be going for $50 to $100, depending on the hero.
Okay, and Anthony, moving over to the top 5 fallers. Which one looks like, yeah, that's where it should be. You've got the hands for 30, the Dr. J for 60, a lot of the cards we talked about. Wow, we didn't see this one, guys. A Scuba 180 for $90, Unibrow 30 for the Grandma's Linoleum, and the Boz Inspired Ink. Wow, $31. Which of these is where it belongs?
All those are absolute stills. So it's hard to say. The Boz Auto going for around 50, 60 bucks. Again, some of those still autos used to be on average about 100. We've seen some of those stills now go down to around the $50 range. So if there's anyone that I would say that is falling to where everything's settling, it would be the still auto, but everything else seems like an absolute still there.
I real quick, Eric, which of the 5 would you have liked to, if you could have gotten at that price, which of these 5 would you have taken first?
The Dr. J.
Okay, Dr. J. All right, got to move on because we've only got a couple minutes, especially because Eric, you're listening to Eric, Misterhop, the Card Society. He does BoBA Raw every single Tuesday. You can catch him at different times. No set time, just every Tuesday. Eric, we're broadcasting this live at 3:55 in the afternoon Germany time, which means it's 9:55 a.m. Atlanta time. You're going live when on Whatnot?
I'll be live in about 50 minutes. We'll be doing 2 cases, 2 different formatted breaks. One is a pick your hero, and you can buy those now. The other one's going to be a draft auction. So if you win the auction, you get to pick from whoever is available.
And you are not only going to finish this, run your day job, and start a break in 50 minutes, but you're also going to go to the post office before then, right?
That's right. Got to get these BoBA cards out to the fans in the community.
All right. And Anthony, when's your next single show? Thursday?
I will be on Thursday around noon Eastern.
Okay. Moving on, guys, to the sealed. Real quick, let's just look at today, not yesterday. Alpha Update Collector Booster Case, $4,500. The Tecmo Double Mega Box for $145. Eric, any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I saw that collector booster case and my eyes lit up. I got really excited about that one. I was in on it for a little bit under that. I wasn't going to quite go there, but I was trying, hoping to get that around 600, maybe 700 a box. But yeah, $44.94 for the booster case. Pretty solid sale.
The last collector booster case that I know sold had a Billy the Kid alt art for 200 power. So hopefully this one has one in it as well. All right, Anthony, overflow draw, purge and patch, draw lock. Which play did you want to talk about?
Those are all really good sales on these. I know these are all Tecmo plays. But for me, I think overflow draw is probably one of the most playable ones. Every time your opponent, if you have 4 or more hot dogs, draw 2 plays and lose. Yeah, 5 or more plays. 5 or more hot dogs. Excuse me. It's essentially it's draw 2 for 0. Draw 2 for 0 is pretty awesome. There's a lot of other multiple draw cards, but there's more stipulation that I would gladly, essentially, possibly pay 1 hot dog for 2 plays. But there's a possibility of paying no hot dogs for 2 plays, and we know you got to draw your plays, get to what you need to. So great play there.
And those are bonus plays
under $100.
And that is bonus plays, all coming out of the retail, the double megas. And speaking of which, Eric, we didn't talk about it earlier today, but the your final thoughts before we end BoBA Raw. We didn't get to it on Good Morning Bo, and I know you got to go, but the Graviton inserts only being in the hobby and jumbo. So that will not be a retail product, right? You have to get your hands on a hobby or jumbo to land them.
That is correct. So a little even more exclusive and rare, not in retail.
All right. Go ahead, Eric, and take us out, and then I will sign us off once you're done.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for watching. This is Eric and Anthony and Slappy White. This is Tuesday's BoBA Raw edition. We will see you guys tomorrow morning on Good Morning Bo.
BoBA Raw, scrolling through the sales tonight. Rarity glowing in the neon light. Price check, play check, cards on the floor. We're hanging out and talking BoBA Raw. Big hits, hot takes, let it roll. Battle arena, heart and soul.